you don't need all these systems to scale. So like you always have to figure out what is the current problem or constraint. There's one thing stopping me from getting to the next level. Let me just solve that. So you don't want to solve for problems that you don't have yet. In a recent presentation I did, I talked about the fact that you get the privilege to solve the next problem, and you don't get the privilege to solve a $200,000 a month problem if you're only at $100,000 a month, right? A $200,000 a month problem might be that you need to build out like this crazy onboarding automated system with like 20,000 zaps. That way everything just automates, and they get a Slack channel, they get onboarded, they get all this stuff. You don't need that at $100,000 a month. At $100,000 a month, you're maybe signing up like one client every 2 days, and you definitely need an onboarding system, but you don't need a crazy one. Maybe that's a bad example, but you get the point. You don't want to solve problems that you literally don't even have yet. But in terms of systems that maybe I wish I would have built, I think there's a couple things. I think number one, I wish I would have built out a client roadmap sooner. So I always separate my business into 3 parts: sales, marketing, client success. And if you're looking at, I can probably think of a system within each category that I wish I would have built. So in client success, I wish I would have built a roadmap sooner. Like we had a group coaching offer, a group kind of consulting offer. It was 16 weeks, and people would come in and they would have all this information, but there wasn't a clear roadmap on how to use all that information. So I wish I would have built out like a clear roadmap on like the step-by-step to use that information. We have that now, but I wish I would have had that in the beginning as we started scaling. In the marketing world, I wish I would have built out a sales pipeline sooner, or like a marketing pipeline, whatever you want to call it, where you can see, how many leads are coming every day. You have proper data reporting. That's honestly the biggest thing for marketing is data. Like most people don't have accurate data. You think your cost per lead and cost per call and how many calls you're getting. Like that's not even scratching the surface on data. Like you need to know like where all of those leads are coming from directly. Are they coming from YouTube? Are they coming from Instagram? What exact ad creative are they coming from? There's so much data stuff you can do, and you don't want to overdo it. But data was definitely a system that I wish I would have built sooner for marketing. And then for sales, I didn't have, until I recently bought into a sales coaching program, and it made me feel like an absolute infant in the sales game, because I realized all of the things that I was like, we have decent sales systems, but why don't I buy this program to kind of see like, okay, this guy's an expert at sales. Maybe there's just a couple things that I'm missing. And there was like a million things that we are now trying to implement all at once to try and catch up with our sales process and systems. And so like of client success and of marketing, those two things were, building systems was not easy, but sales is probably the number one place I wish I would have built systems for data, for sales pipelines, for follow-up, for how to hire and onboard and recruit new setters and closers. Sales is a beast. At least that's what I'm realizing. And maybe some of the people watching are great at sales, but that's probably my weakness.